welcome back to the Why Not Us podcast. You know, your favorite podcast where we talk about creative stuff, where we talk about the things that we go through with your favorite host. I'm Rahmere. I'm here with Seneca, and we're really excited to be here. We're really glad to be back and just talking and chatting with you guys for sure.
Yes. Thank you guys for continuing to come back, continuing to like what we, are putting out there, the ideas. If you guys like what we are doing, continue to keep liking, sharing, commenting the things that you want to hear, and just let us know what your thoughts so far. We've been, doing so many topics, so many conversations, and I'm glad that the reception is good.
No, honestly, we're on that road to. We're like well deep into the first season.
Yeah.
So just I feel like we dropped a lot of gems. So feel free to go back, watch episodes you've seen or watch episodes you haven't watched in a while. Just and you might be able to pick up something that you ain't, you ain't get the first time.
That part, I know I do. I still go back. I'm like, let me see what we said, because we said some pretty powerful things.
So. No, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But, while we're here, what we get into, we're going to do the highs and lows. So I'm going to ask you, Seneca, what's your high and low? What's going on?
My high is that I recently celebrated a birthday, and it felt good to turn another year older, another year wiser. Another high of mine is just I chopped off some ends of my hair, like 4 inches. I feel lighter.
4?
Yeah.
That's like this much.
Yeah. Hey. I needed it. I needed, a trim, but I needed I feel like a new transformative look and feel. And when you look better, you feel better and all around. So that's my high. A low of mine is just, continuing to put myself out there just as far as job seeking. I feel like, I don't know if a lot of you guys can relate or, attest to this, but, job seeking it's not for the weak. It's definitely something that you have to be persistent on, and you have your good days, you have your bad days, and you have your in between. I'm definitely a person that, don't let things get to me, but sometimes you have those days where it's like, okay, and I try for me personally to create my own routine. I have a lot of things outside of, looking for employment that I do on the side, and a lot of creative ventures that I do. So I try to utilize my time well, opposed to just letting my feet drag about certain things that I can't change or control. If that makes sense.
No, that's true. So it could be really easy to be caught up in the woes and the no's and just right. Yeah. But like you said, you're just controlling the controllable.
Yeah.
You know who you are, you know what you have to offer, what's meant to be, what's meant to be at the end of the day.
Yeah. What about you?
Highs and lows. So my high, I'm gonna start with a low.
Okay.
My low is that I have a really bad habit of staying up too late.
Ooh.
And it's starting to
I have that.
It's really, and so this whole year, not this whole year, maybe the past month and a half, I've been trying to not sleep in. I've been trying to start my day at 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. That's cool, fine and dandy.
Yeah.
But what happens is I stay up too late, but that doesn't change the time I want to wake up.
Yeah.
So there's oftentimes I'm up to 1, 2 in the morning, and I'm gotta turn around, my alarm going off at 6 a.m. I do get up, but I be tired because I feel like 6 a.m. is the only time I can go to the gym or just do other things. So I have a really bad habit of going to bed too late, and that just makes me tired. You should have seen me at work today. I'm trying to edit, and I literally fell asleep while editing.
Oh wow! Oh yeah, that might be a little problem. Might
be
a little bit.
Yeah. So I'd be tired.
Yeah.
My high is that it can coincide a little bit. I recently got some free time. I did stop doing my part-time job, right?
Okay.
I was getting very busy at my day job, and then also on top of that, I just feel I remember in a previous episode, literally probably the episode with Natasha, we were talking about I felt like I didn't have enough time to create anymore.
Yeah.
So, and creating is my outlet. So I just was you know what? Let's just drop this, put this down. It could be there when I get back. It could be there when I have a little bit more free time.
Right.
So that way I'm not up till 2 a.m. still editing something, and I have more time, more hours in the day for just different endeavors and such. So this is my first full week of like new free time, and can I tell you, I took a midday nap for the first time in like 3 months.
How did that feel?
Fantastic. I woke up confused.
Yeah.
I woke up
That's
confused.
how you know you got a good nap.
Like I was like, why? What? It's like 8 o'clock. I didn't eat yet.
Groggy,
What
time is it?
Anyway, nice little 5 to 8. But yeah, that's my high though. That's my high. That's where I'm at right now.
So next we're gonna get into the icon and the eye.
Okay.
And so that's our segment where we highlight someone, someone that we see, someone that we know, someone that we may have heard of, music, art, etc. Anything of the creative endeavors. So I'm gonna start.
Okay.
My icon in the eye is Illuminati. And she is a rapper. If you guys have not heard of her, she's a rapper. She's been rapping for a long time, and she's I think around in her 20s. I don't know if she's our age or she's around in her 20s, but she is a really really dope rapper. She's been out since we were in high school, or like almost like the beginning of college. She's had some viral videos on Instagram that would go around, and she's from Atlanta. And she raps, and the way she raps is like almost like poetry. Like you have to keep up with like what she's saying, and it's like such like you've heard of Illuminati.
Yeah, I know. I just like the way you explained it. So I was like, oh, okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, you've heard of her, but it's different because I do like to listen to different rappers, but I like to listen to different rappers' styles. If they're more poetic, like a Kendrick, or they're more fast, like a Lil Wayne or something like that. So Illuminati, she's like in that middle for me. And she's so cool. She's always dropping new projects. She just dropped a new single, this past couple of months, and has been doing great. And she's just eye for me. She's always continuing to pushing herself forward. She's always looking to grow, always looking to, pursue new sounds and new beats. And also she's really great with her community and her fans. So if you're a fan of hers, she don't really treat you like a fan. She treats you like
you're part of the family.
Exactly.
Okay.
So like if you're on her live or her, whatever, she's just like, hey guys, like we're making music, want to help me out with a beat, or she's super personable. So shout out to her, and for always being creative, for continuing to push yourself and making great music. We need to always have great music out there, and so
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. My icon for the eye this episode is someone super familiar with New Chronicle Productions. If you go back to our origin, I want to shout out Rico Bonds, Tyreek Mons. Super talented individual, but just someone who like I've gotten to know and I've like seen way back, like many years ago. And I seen like the potential, and I seen like everything that he was into, and he was part of our first project Attention. And just if you look, his face shows up in a lot of other projects, so like you know what I'm saying, and it probably will be in other projects in the future. So like I just want to shout out to him. I did feel like recently he's going through like a rebrand of sorts, where honestly like his creative vision and like his visuals impressed me. And they like, he really does his thing on that field. And now I just feel like every time I scroll and see a video on a timeline, I'm like, oh man, look at this man. Like it's so crazy. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's really inspirational to me for sure. And I just want him to just keep up the good work. And I just want him to just keep striving, keep trying different things, keep going, because it pushes me to keep going wholeheartly. But yeah, I just want to shout out to him. Shout out to you, Rico.
Yeah, shout out. His work is really, really cool. He's definitely a visionary. I've seen I feel like I've seen his growth, like you said, and each time you see his work and what you could see his wheels turning in his head, and how it just like seeps over to the vision part. So shout out to him.
Shout out to him, man. All right.
You
know what that means.
Yeah. Main topic time.
Exactly. Main topic time. So in this episode, we're going to dive in. We're really going to talk about being an introvert and being an extrovert, and what does that mean with your creative vision and what you produce and what you bring out.
Right.
Do you feel like introverts are more artsy on the inside? Do you feel like their work is deeper? Or do you feel like extroverts, their work is louder?
Yeah.
We're really just gonna have like these opinions. We're gonna go
Yeah.
back and forth. Like, feel free to chime in the comments or just let us know in the social media or DMs. Like, how do you feel about this? I personally feel like what I said. My general opinion is introverts are literally like down to the word very introspective.
Yeah.
And they look at the world kind of differently from extroverts. I feel like as an introvert, you spend a lot of time watching, looking, observing, kind of just like seeing people, like what they got going on, like kind of like who they are, seeing different personalities from a distance. Whereas an extrovert sees the same thing, different personalities. They might be watching.
Right.
They maybe don't do much observing. They do a lot more participation, which in that takes a lot.
Yeah.
From you can participate in different things and you can take a lot of notes from. So I feel like, introverts, they're watching, observing. Extroverts are participating in different groups, but they still offer a different lens into what they create, I feel like, from different fields.
Absolutely. They do. I agree with that. I feel like it's more, when you're introverted, you have more of a perspective. You have different people's perspectives, like drawing in, and you're kind of collecting them in a sense, like on the go. As you watch people, like I like to people watch, and that sounds strange, but I do that to gravitate towards stories or write them down or see how people may live their life or how they see the world, and I just catch them. I feel like little Pokemons versus a extrovert. They're like taking everything like face value. Like it's like hitting them like right there, right then. And I feel like it does portray the art differently. On paper or on a canvas, it's very much instant. I feel like it's a slow progression. One could be a slow progression. I think extroverted are really like a slow progression to me.
You think so?
I think so.
Like their artwork grows over time, you saying? Or like, what do you mean slow progression?
I think that they take their time to make their art. Like whatever they're observing, however they interact with the world, they're taking their time. An introvert, like I just said, is collecting Pokemons. We're more susceptible to like jot down or whatever. Like I feel like it's a fast sort of, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but it's more like a fast-paced thing. Like if you already have something in your mind, it's easy for me to output. Yeah. Versus an extrovert, I feel like they take their time
to gather
information, to gather art, to put it out. Like I don't know if that even inputs correctly, but
no, I think I get that. I get that wholeheartedly. And now you got my wheels turning, got me thinking. Like the process, the thought process of introvert and extrovert. I feel like I agree with you. I feel like as an introvert, they're more like we said, introspective. They're like looking at different things, gathering. Like, oh my, okay. I seen how Sin did this. Okay, I seen how Thomas did this. Blah blah blah. Like they're looking at different stories and everything. And while as an extrovert, I feel like they may get their inspiration from people, engaging with people. So you might talk to an extrovert and like what you told them is in a film, or it's in a book, and like you're like. Right? Yeah. Hopefully they signed off on it. But like, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Also, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like this may be case by case basis. But like, I feel like an introvert may be less insecure about their art than an extrovert. Hear me out. I only feel that way because people generally see introverts as like kind of insecure, standoffish by themselves. Mysterious. Yeah. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they're shy or insecure about like what they have going on in their art. Doesn't mean they're not, doesn't mean that they are.
Like boisterous.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like extroverts, when they put out their art, they rely a lot more on other people's opinions.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like an introvert, they're so used to being by themselves. They're so used to their own thoughts and their own process. Like to even be let into their world is a privilege. Like they're content with just. You might find an introvert who's been doing what they're doing, been painting for years, and now you're just now seeing it because they just been keeping it for themselves. Whereas an extrovert, they rely a lot on other people's thought process and opinions, and you might see their first draft of whatever. What y'all think about this?
I don't think you're wrong at all. I think
Okay.
you're absolutely right. I think that can slip over to a lot of other things.
Mm-hmm.
How you are like as a person, your personality, not just in art, but you're right. When I think typically when someone is, and it's not a bad thing. Neither an extrovert or introvert is a bad thing. It's like however you are is who you are. But you're so right. It's people do think it's like insecure. Like if you hold your art to yourself, it's like, oh, I'm shunning it from the world, or I'm scared.
I just like it.
It's just like I know what I do. I like me. I'm confident in my art, and if I do share it with you, then you have that privilege, like you said. Extroverts, they are like tell all about it type of like way, which is not bad. It's just they like opinions. They like validation. And I think it is interesting to come across the introvert and the extrovert and to see their work play out actually in person.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done that. But I actually want to task myself to do that one day, to see an introverted or extroverted person's work and see how they express their art. Is it meek or is it bold or, but no, it actually is correct. What you said is not wrong.
I feel like an extrovert will tell before they show, and an introvert will show before they tell.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I feel like if you catching my drift, like, you'll see an introvert's work before they ever tell you about it. An extrovert, they'll probably tell you an idea. I'm thinking about writing a book. Before they even, like, have a draft or anything like that, an extrovert will definitely tell before they show.
Yeah.
And it's just so interesting to see, like, these two different sides of the spectrum and how they create. It's just like I feel like it changes the process. I don't think it changes the quality.
No.
I don't think just because someone is more introspective and more like deep in thought that their poem might be better than an extrovert who has been, engaging with different people and taking in different perspectives. And it's because they showed their friends, they showed everybody, maybe they took that feedback and now it's going to be better. Whereas the introvert who knows like art subjective for sure. But like as an introvert, you're writing a poem, you kept it to yourself, you think it's fire, but no one else has seen it or read it.
Absolutely.
So does that mean it's not?
No, it means that you don't really care about or for the recognition. I feel like when I think about this topic, I think about like an art show or like, an art museum. When you see someone's work, you may not see their work, but you don't see their name. And then you might see somebody, an artist or an artiste, and they're like, oh, this is my work. This is my work. It's just different. And it just means some people don't really have to be attached to their work. They can let their work stand on its own and speak on its own because that's the introspective that they carry. I don't have to sit here and tell you all about my work. It can just speak for itself.
You could just tell I'm a creative person or tell I'm artsy.
Yeah. And that's not that doesn't mean again, with how people, the characteristics that carries, people think that you're uppity, people think that you're better than. No, it's just like, maybe I actually don't want to speak. Maybe I'm just like, here's my work and just here you go. Like, let the world have it. And some people or other people, they're just like, here's my work. Here's me. This is what I did. This is how I did it. Let me break it down to you. But, it just depends on your audience, how your audience perceives that, And my question for you is, do you think I'm going to flip-flop it. Do you think that introverts secretly care what people think? And do you think extroverts secretly, is it like a shell, a protectant almost when they're extroverted and they're boisterous and they're loud and they're secretly like really, really like meek or like chilled out to themselves?
I think that's difficult. I do feel like introverts may secretly care. Yeah. But it's not like the end all be all.
Right.
Because like I said, I personally feel like introverts, their biggest critic is themselves.
Right.
So they may show other people what they got going on, what they're doing. Maybe it might take years for them to even get to that point because they got to pass number one judge, which is them. They're like, this is even worth showing people. Right. Or like, this is like not it. So I just feel like they may care a little bit about what other people think, but also it has to pass their own like vibe check, like their own like, Whereas an extroverted person, is it a shell? Is it just like
protectant?
Yeah, I personally feel like, man, this is probably like not off topic, but I do feel like they seek of a lot of opinions because maybe the same reason they don't think that it's good enough.
Right.
So like an extrovert, well, man, this song I made whack.
Right.
Let me see what Sin think. Is it whack?
Right,
Is it whack? Is it whack?
Yeah.
Introvert, this song I made is whack. No one's gonna hear this.
And they don't see the daylight. Right.
It's going in the trash.
Right.
So I feel like it's just a different process of it, but it comes from the same core.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of you thinking it's cool or not cool. Like, I think so.
Yeah. I agree. I don't think it changes anything. I think that the process just changes. Do you think that I feel like both parties can learn things from each other?
Yeah.
I think that actually it can be a collaborative effort. I don't think that there's nothing wrong with those paths crossing. I think that the best artwork can come from two different mindsets, two different alters of worlds, of how we see the world. What do you think that can come out of two people collaborating, or like how do you feel
introvert
about
and extrovert?
Yeah,
I think that's a powerful tandem.
Yeah.
When it comes to art, I feel like if it was ever like a group of two people or a group of a few different people and they come from their different, mindsets of it, I think that's pretty powerful because it's now an assembly line because the introvert won't let their art get out until they feel like this is good.
Yeah.
Now they feel like this is good. Now it's off to the extrovert. You do the marketing for it. You do the promoting for it. You do the audience kind of like test run. Like just, make sure this is good. Now we have a nice polished product because I looked at it introspectively. I looked at it from different views. As an introvert, passed along to the extrovert, and they looked at it and now they gathered opinions. Now they see what everyone else is thinking and maybe the ending could be different or whatever. Yeah. Now, complete package, ready to go. For sure. That's why I feel like we say do it alone, but also collaboration is key.
Yeah.
It definitely is.
Yeah. It's okay to do it alone, but also if you are introverted, if you're extroverted, it's okay to pop into those worlds and see what that looks like, because just because you're introverted does not mean the way you see the world is like 100% linear. And the same thing with an extrovert. So sometimes when you take a dip in the pool in another person's world, you're actually like, oh, I can learn so much from you. I feel like personally, I want to move on to how we feel like personally about who we are and how we learn from other people, because I feel like I'm naturally introverted. But I do have a lot of extroverted friends, and I do learn a lot from them, and I gain a lot from them. And it's just so different. And to me, I feel like you have to mix that world up. I don't think I could be around too many introverts. It would be too many, we're just all sitting and thinking and pondering. So I don't know. What in your personal life, how do you balance that?
I think so. I guess. Who in my art, creatively, am I more introverted or extroverted when it comes to creativity? It's actually pretty tough to put a finger on it. What do you think I am?
I think you're in the middle.
Okay.
I think
Ambiverted.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think I lean more towards? Let's say ambivert doesn't exist.
In your art?
Yeah, when it comes to me as a creator.
You know what's so funny? I think as all of us, you've had many different phases. And I think the phase you're in currently is more introverted. And I think in the past, it's been more extroverted. But I think you're gaining so much perspective. I don't know. That's just what I'm seeing right now. That's just what I feel over the past projects you put out and the poems and everything. I feel like a lot of it is introspective. And it shows because it has a lot of depth to it. It has a lot of you could tell that you've worked on things and you've held those things for a minute. I don't know, but I do think for the sake of the video, you're in the middle. Okay,
I would say I am less in the middle than you think. I think I am when it comes to creating art. I am introverted wholeheartedly because. If I don't like something, you're not gonna see it. Yeah. And I'm literally my own biggest critic. Yeah. And I'm watching. You might have heard me, or anybody else might have heard me. I'm watching my YouTube videos back. Whenever I stream on Twitch, sometimes I watch back the VOD, the whole VOD back. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, okay, I could have did this better, Okay, but I'm looking to improve, like whatever. I'm not sending it to you, be like, hey, what you think?
Right.
Even when it comes to like, I might show NCP stuff or skit or like other people.
Yeah.
If I'm asking your opinion or whatever, trust me, it's been through a lot of vetting with me.
Yeah.
And my introvertedness. So like, if I'm asking your, what do you think of this? It's my best version.
Yeah.
It's not the extroverted of my first try. What you think of this? So I definitely think on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 is introverted, 10 is extroverted, 5 is omniverted. I might be a 2. I literally might be a 2 when it comes to being a creative.
Okay, I can respect that.
I might be a 2.
I can see that. The only reason why I also said omnivert is because we did speak about outside of showing people your work and passing it along and around and seeing what people's perspective is. I also think we also like reflected on the importance of once your art is out, being okay. Or caring if other people like care about it or what they think about it, and it's not a bad thing, but I also think you like to see the reception, good, bad, and different, and that's why I also say omnivert, because you do like when people, whether it's constructive or positive or negative, you like when your art is out there and you want to make sure like this is a graph out production and this is what it is, or this is you know what I'm saying. So I feel like that I put in the middle also just because at the end you want to see people's results, what people are saying about your art, which is a great thing. But I do 100% see you as an introvert.
What about you? Are you an introvert?
Yeah.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10, are you a 1?
1. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that I think I've always been an introvert. I just always looked at the world very differently, very colorful. And it reflects it. Like, a lot of the art that I can write, like, it's funny because I was just cleaning up my room the other day and I found like a lot of things that I've written and I'm like, this is not about me. Clearly, like what I wrote was never about me. It was through somebody else's eyes, and I like to tap into different people's perspectives and issues and what they're going through. And so I think you can see that through me. And again, what you said, if there's something I don't like, you'll never really see it. I'll probably tell you about it if I'm close to you. But I like to work on things. I like to see my progress. I like to pick things up and put them back because also my perspective changes. Maybe what I had a year ago is different from this year. So before anybody else can see it, I want to make sure like I'm like this. Me and my art are like this.
You're locked in.
We're locked in. We're lined in, and completely number 1 is introvert. And I think that it's beautiful when people can see that. People could come up to you and they could tell how much work you put into your art, how you do spend time to think about the world or think about the things that you're saying, and it's not just like this. Like you could tell that your work is not like ChatGPT. You could tell like my work is not just out of somebody's Wikipedia. We took our time. I took my time, and for sure.
And like really vetted it and really went through it. Like went through your own steps before anybody else can see anything.
It's hard because I do feel like people get that characteristic of like, oh, you're shy or you don't want to show. And it's like, no, I do want to show, but I have my own rubric before anybody else.
Yeah, that's a good example. It's rubric.
I have a whole bunch of art to showcase and share, but I want to make sure that it comes out at the right time. It's in the right phase. It's in the right stage. It looks good from the inside, from the outside, from all angles and areas. And that's just that. But
do you feel like who you are, your personality, introvert and extrovert, omnivert, can be different from who you are as an artist, an introverted artist, extroverted? Like,
absolutely.
I feel like I said, like I'm a 2 when it comes to art.
Right.
But like in life, I definitely, like I said, if introvert's 1, extroverts 10. I'm definitely more like 6.5, 7. But when it comes to art, I'm like kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
I give you a 6.
You give me 6?
I give you a 6.
Not 2, not 7.
I give you a 6.
All right.
Just because I think you have a really good balance of being a friendly person, a person that's always looking to bring people in, or being, but also you're. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. Like if that sort of thing. But in my personal life, I feel like if you're in my circle, if you know me, I feel like I'm not that introverted as people may think. If you're first meeting me, and it's not to be rude, but I'm not gonna talk to so many people because I'm observing the room. So that does not change. That part don't change about me as far as art and my personal life. But if we get close, I'm more like a 5.
Like if you're a 5, I gotta be like a 7 then.
You're actually
I'm not
right.
gonna lie, because like
You're actually right.
we ain't that close.
We're not. We're not. I mean, when I'm around my close friends and my family, like it's the perception is totally different, and it should be because you let down more of your walls and you're more of your, different attributes about yourself. But face value, people look at me and they're like, "Oh, she's so quiet." Like, "Oh my gosh, do you speak? Like, are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm totally fine. Like, I'm great." But I relate a lot of things to the music world or how artists are perceived, just because I love music a lot. But I feel like a lot of artists are like 10. Like, again, when we talk about artists, we talk about their outer shell. Their inner shell is more like I feel like, they're like 3 or 4. Because that's what they want you to see. Their artist, their characteristic, their outer layer. But if you get to know, I'm sure, an artist or two or us or whomever, you'll see we're more introverted than extroverted than our art, That's what I feel like. I think.
That makes sense. Yeah. I just think, all in all, both kind of mindsets are sensitive about their art. Yeah. Artists typically are
sensitive about
exactly. So it's just like they typically are. They just go about it differently.
Absolutely.
Just like to reiterate, the introvert are so sensitive, you will never see it. They're very protective. They're just like vetting it, making sure it hits the rubric, hits all like their qualifications and hits all their guidelines before the world sees it. Extrovert, the world may see it, the world may hear about it. Well, I got this idea for this movie. I got this idea for the world may hear about it.
Right.
And that's how they're getting their rubric.
Right.
If it's receptive, if people that they trust or like maybe even strangers like it or don't like it, if that's how they're both sensitive about it and they both care about it. But how they care for it is a little different. I think both are very important though.
Yeah, both are needed.
Definitely important.
Both are needed, and I feel like if you are both of these types, even in the middle, they're both necessary, and it's definitely needed in the art world and the world in general. I feel like it's so important to know who you are. If you don't know what type of creative person or your personality type, there are definitely like a lot of quizzes out there. If you feel like you're in the middle, that's definitely okay. Neither is good or bad. They're actually both great. However you are, however you showcase your art, there's nothing wrong with it. Just take a look inside. We're talking about introspective. Sometimes take a look at who you are, what you spew out to the world, how you talk to others around you, how you talk about your art. And collect that and know that both are great and you can collaborate and make great art together and learn something from each other. I feel like mostly.
What's a good way to know is when you have an idea, something pop in your head, what's the very first thing you're doing? Are you writing it down or are you just talking about it?
Right.
So how many times aunts, uncles, whatever, oh yeah, I got this idea for the blah, 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 right? Or like your friends, like, I'm thinking about starting my YouTube channel. I'm thinking about streaming. I'm thinking about making this album, whatever. They're immediately talking about it. Introverted, they're
writing it,
building it up, like writing about it,
crafting it in their laboratory.
Like literally, like, you know what I'm saying, getting to work on it.
Yeah. Yep. So I really hope that you guys take from this and learn from this and, just do some digging on how you are, how you create your art, and how you get to those points.
For sure. I think this is a good topic. I think this was like a little bit different. Yeah. Right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just think that it's like, they both look at it from different aspects, but they're both needed. Yeah. Wholeheartedly. That's just to wrap it up. I think introverts, extroverts, whatever you are, you care about your art, embrace it, and do your process. Do your process for sure.
Yeah, that was a great topic.
Definitely was. So just as we come to a close,
Yes.
we're gonna do our final 5. You know what I'm saying? Where we give you just 5 words that kind of just sum up what we talked about today, or just in general. It doesn't even have to be about today. Just give me 5 words that inspire you, that just kind of like bring something about you, cultivate this idea, maybe and inspire something, maybe could educate somebody else.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. So, how do you want to go first, or who wants to?
You can go. Yeah.
All right. So my final 5 is you belong. Keep creating anyways.
Okay.
And I think that it speaks to a lot of things in life, but I think also to this topic. Like we said, there's no right or wrong way to be. So whoever you are, however you see fit, don't let, things stop you. If you hear a friend talk about, oh, I wrote down my idea and I had to do step by step, and just because they did it that way, it's okay that you did it another way. If you, told the world or whomever, just keep creating the art anyways. Don't let anything negate you or get in your way. Or if your mindset is your mindset, if who you are is who you are, focus on that. Don't focus on the outer world or the outer noise. Just keep, creating anyways. I think it's self-explanatory. I think it kind of wraps up the idea of you don't have to be someone. You don't have to be someone else. Be who you are. Don't have your art be someone else. Be who you want your art to be. Do it how you want to see fit, and just keep pushing.
I like that. You know what's so funny? Ours are so related.
Really?
Yeah. Check this out.
What?
Introverted, extroverted. Just make it.
Oh, okay. It's time to wrap it up.
You know
That's so good.
And I just think that they go hand in hand.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't matter if you're sensitive about your art or whether you're more expressive about it. At the end of the day, you were given an idea. You were given a means to create it.
Right.
Do it. Make it. I feel like I say that a lot in the Fast Fives. Just do it. Just do it. But like, there's a lot of people in the world, whether it's because they're too shy or too introverted, that they become crippled by that.
Absolutely.
And they have so much talent. And and they have so much things inside of them that needs to come out. I feel like it's pretty selfish to have these ideas, to have this talent, to have, things that was just gifted to you, and you're just letting it wither away in your brain like, oh, it's just an idea. I have a quote tweet that's on my Twitter right now, way back from like 2020 or 2019. And it says something along the lines that ideas that are not executed are just hallucinations. So like it's really like, you may get an idea, you may get something. If you're not going to do something about it, what's the point? What's the point?
Also, with that, to carry that as well, sometimes people don't know they have tapped potential. Sometimes their potential is untapped. Sometimes their gifts. Some people don't recognize their gifts as gifts, and you have to tap into that. So it's not to change what you said. It's also to bring a different perspective, because some people may hear selfishness and they may think harshness, what you're saying, but it's not. It's also to bring another light of, you have potential. You don't think that you don't have anything going on. You don't have any hobbies. You don't have any goals. You have goals. You just have to tap. You have to tap into. Everybody has. I got this quote. We're speaking about quotes. I got this quote from Jay-Z. Everybody has genius level talent. You just have to tap into it. And sometimes we don't see that. So also to merge in with your thought.
You're right.
Tap into your potential, even if you think. You don't have it.
Because you do. Yeah. You literally do. I'm a big firm believer, like, that idea when it came to you, if you don't have the means or the connections or the language to express how to get it done. You might not have the talent. Maybe someone, like, you just got an idea. It was just gifted to you. It came to you. It didn't come to nobody else. Just let you know. You know what I'm saying? And you don't necessarily have I don't know how to edit. But what you do have is a vision. You know how to communicate. You know how to express.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Or you have people skills. You know how to bring the right people together to bring this idea to fruition. Yeah. Like, don't look at it at face value, basically. It's like, man, if it was given to you, that is your responsibility. Make it happen. Introvert, extrovert, just make it, bro. Just make it.
Just make it.
Just make it.
Yeah.
But this has been a great episode of the Wine at Us podcast.
Yes.
Hope you guys had a great time, hanging with us, chilling with us, chatting with us. You know what I'm saying? Hope you laughed. Hope you thought. Hope you sat here. Whether you might have listened at home, on the TV, in the car, on your phone, in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you just sat here and just was like, just for a little bit. Just
ponder.
for like a little ponder, a little chin grab. You went,
Yep.
I just hope you did that.
Yep.
I just even for like a few seconds or one question or one segment, just
Yeah. And I hope we can continue to give you more pondered thoughts, more just open, wide perspectives. That's what we're here to do, is to uncover things that you probably never heard, probably never saw, probably never even thought to get into. So if you like watching us, continue to keep liking this video, sharing this video. Tell your mom, your friend, your cousin, your baby cousin, your sister, your brother, anybody in the world, okay? All of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that has been us in the One of Us podcast.
Exactly.
And yeah.
See you next time.